Welcome back, listeners. Before we get into today's episode, as always, I want to make a quick mention about our reviews. We have a goal this year of reaching 50 reviews for the Fit Pro podcast, and I'll just read out one of them so I can give you an example of what a good review sounds like. We got this review from BizFox, networking passionista from the USA. Nicely done, both Marvin and Pat. Very good story about career, transition, following passion and purpose. I'd like more detail about exactly how Patrick invited people from an open forum to his Facebook group. It may seem clear, but newbies like me who want to build a new platform need a paint-by-numbers roadmap. Smiley face. That is a great review, BizFox. Thank you so much for leaving it. And that's what I want to do for the next few episodes, is just highlight some good reviews that have been left, give you an easy paint-by-numbers way to leave a review. If you're on an iOS device and you are on the podcast right now, all you got to do is click the podcast art. It'll flip around. There'll be a star rating system. Leave us a few stars or leave a comment if you really, really like the show on how I could improve it as well as what you like about it. So that was a really great review, and I hope to get a few more like that. But look, this is part 2 to the interview with Brian Roache. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, go back, listen to part 1, otherwise this won't make sense. So look, let's get into this podcast. Enjoy it today, guys. I will catch you at the end. Episode 68 of the Fit Pro podcast. There's more than one way to do things. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And I feel like, the people that you need to worry about if you're a listener out there and you want to go and find a trainer is the trainers that are like, there's just one way to do things, which is my way, and there's no other way to do it. Or you got to become a vegan, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. You don't have to do anything. You really don't. There's a few ways to do, there's a lot of different ways. Find the one that suits you and that you can stick to. And a good trainer will go out of their way to make you, set you up for success for you individually.
Oh, absolutely. Individually is the key, because you might have, every trainer should have their own set of principles. Because if you don't have your principles, well then, what are you? You should have your core principles. My core principles.
Yes, what do you have?
My core principles would be always of a basis of once I get the flexibility and the mobility into my clients, then I do bring them down the strength route. I do believe in building a lean muscle. I do believe in getting the body structure in a way better position in life. We stand up. We should be standing up a lot more. And when you stand up, you need your body to support you. So I try to live the thesis that if I can get a person better functionally mobility, stronger, then that will that then leads me on to the conditioning side, and then that leads me on to the fitness side. So I would have my core principles in when I'm designing programs. I do a needs analysis of the client or of the group. And then I would, after my testing and after my, further analysis of what that person can do, then I would implement the type of training that I think that would suit them, not what I feel like coaching or what I think, works all the time, because it doesn't. It has to suit them. And this is the thing, like that, when I'm doing that kind of a needs analysis, sometimes it changes. Sometimes, you might have someone. You have to look at their training time, which I mean is, how many months or years have they actually done in a gym? Did they do 3 months last year and then nothing since? Did they do 2 months the year before? Were they with a previous strength coach who they've learned the fundamentals? Or maybe they've never even seen a kettlebell or a bar or a dumbbell or a plate. All they've ever done is maybe some step aerobics or maybe a Zumba class. And that's, and then on the nutrition side, I think there is no set rules. I do have some core principles though, in that I do not like, once you do a carb less diet or a high protein diet or a very high fat diet, you are stripping away one of the 3 core principles of having carbs, fats and proteins. And without being a nerd here when it comes to nutrition or sounding like a nerd, I would have I would try and keep a balanced state of mind when them 3 core components are involved. So I would try and always work out for beginners. I think food diaries are very, very good, because it keeps them accountable. If you throw MyFitnessPal at someone that has never done it before and you mention macronutrients, they're going to look back at you and they're going to walk, because it's way too mind fuck blowing to understand what macronutrients are. And if, not to mention, I have some of my best clients, they can't even use MyFitnessPal. It's too confusing. So the easiest thing for them to do is, listen, you write out for me 5 days of your food, bring it into me. Then I start correcting it, and I start praising them when I look at their food diary again and again and again, and it's turning before my eyes, it's turning before their eyes, and all of a sudden they're actually 85%, 90% of the way there. And if I get them there, then fine. I know with the correct training, I'm on the right path. Only then later, when they move up a level, I will start bringing them into the macronutrient side. And but again, they have to show me the hunger that they actually want to learn that. You have to be enthusiastic about certain things to actually embrace the change. And that is one thing they would want to embrace the change of actually using macronutrients before they jump too deep into it. The third core principle I would have is when it comes to stress. I will be a big guy now when it comes to sleep, internal and external stress, and the implementation of how that affects, fat loss or strength. I mean, if you're not getting sleep, well, then we have to look at that. If your cortisol levels are flying through the roof at 9 o'clock and at 1 o'clock in the morning you're lying in bed, you're absolutely wide awake, your body is tired, but your mind, you could nearly write a fucking thesis at this time. you're that psyched up, and then in the morning you wake up and you're like a cat being dragged from the bed. You're just so lethargic, and then you're expected then to bounce into work. You go straight into the coffee with sugar. All of a sudden you have a hike. You have a carb breakfast, maybe some cereal, and that's causing internal stress. And then you might go into that dreaded state of undereating where you might eat again until 2 o'clock. And then that's causing more internal stress. Then you have the external stress, like family, like financial worries, like jobs, that's all external stress. So when you put all that in the mix, and then you come to me and you say, I want to lose 2 stone, especially off my middle section. If you ignore that element of life, well then, sonny boy, as a coach, you ain't going to get results. No way. So my core principles would be, the strength training with some conditioning, and then that will improve your fitness and your aerobic and anaerobic fitness. And then would be my second core principle on the nutrition side. I would fiercely have a set rules in terms of carbs, fats and proteins, and I kind of alternate that to suit the makeup of the client. And then on the third thing, the stress, sleep, that would be an undereating, getting them balanced. So all of a sudden then, okay, they're training 3 or 4 times a week. Their food diary is about 85, 90% right. There's still room there for some ice cream or a bottle of beer. And then they're getting better sleep now. And maybe they might, and life is a bit more balanced. And I think once I get that there, 9 times out of 10, results flow.
And those are great core principles. I feel like more trainers need them. And there's obviously a reason why you guys have been so successful. But why would, again, those core principles are great, but why should the average person in Ireland right now that's looking to get a gym membership or go to a gym come to your gym?
I think, energy is a word used, I think, a lot around myself and my team, in that, when you enter, I suppose when people meet me, a lot of people think I'm a bit crazy in terms of energy, but, it's one of my core strengths. I tend to drive hard in terms of doing as much as I can for the client. And I drive my team hard here as well. That, listen, if you're tired, or if you're not feeling up to train this group, hey man, snap the fuck out of it, get into gear, let's go. They're looking to us for guidance. Get out there, put on your best show. Once it's over, sit in the office, have a green tea, have a coffee, I don't give a fuck, and relax for a few minutes. But get your shit together. Energy is a big thing. When people come in here to the groups, that would be a thing that I would try and implement them into a group where they get support, where they get accountability in terms of, be listened to, given the right information, and having a bloody good time. So I think one of the biggest reasons they will come to us too is them things mixed in, but also because, we've a proven structure of getting results. And, at the end of the day, if you're not getting results, you can be the best bullshitter in the world. But people want to see the end product. Do you know what I mean, Marvin? They need to see the end product. If I want to buy a car off a dealer, I want to hear about, is his service side of his business very strong? Does he sell good cars? What's his end product? I don't want to listen to his, salesmanship. I want to know what's his end product. And thankfully our end product is very good, So, and we've made mistakes and we'll always continue to improve. No one's perfect.
Yes.
But I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people should come to us, is because we put our heart and soul. I think if I had to sum up one line, I think it's we give a shit. I actually give a shit about people. I actually care. I don't want to meet someone uptown and them to look at me in my eye and say, look, you didn't help me. I want to be able to meet them, whether they're in my gym or they may have left for, their term is up, or they got the results they needed. And I could look at them and go, hey man, I helped you. And if I get that, well then I'm not going too bad wrong. I'm okay.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have done well, and you've been doing it for a few years now. I feel like if it was going to go bad, it would have. But has there ever been a moment where you've gone, you know what, fuck this, I'm going back to what I was doing before?
Yeah, I won't lie. I'm not. Yeah, as I said to you, I'm not one of these. Born gym instructors. I'm not one of these born strength coaches or born. They think. I suppose I would always look at. There's been times when, I suppose, financially and the amount of hours that you're putting in, and you see friends of yours working a 9 to 5 and they're bringing home good money a week, and they're having weekends off, and they have the evenings off, and they're not up at 6:15 in the morning, and they're not finishing at 9:30 at night and then doing some more work at night. I would have often looked at them going, yeah. But then, as I said to you at the very start, this is the canvas I'm painting. And I can be a little bit stubborn sometimes, and I go, right, okay, this is the course and path I'm on. I can keep going this way, or I can fucking turn left and right the direction I want to go, and that's what I'm doing. So there's been times when I thought to myself, do I really want to do this? Is it worth it? But I just keep driving myself on to the next level. I feel I have a plan. I have some serious plans in my head to do before I'm 40 in 5 years' time, and I'll reverse engineer those plans. I'll break them down step by step, and I'd rather be. I hope when I get to 40 years of age in 5 years' time, that even if I don't get there, that I won't be disgusted at myself that I didn't try. That would be a big failure for me. I'd rather fail and have tried than not have tried at all.
100% agree. There's nothing better than knowing that you tried and knowing that you put in the effort. And even after all of that, if it falls to shit, you know what? You figure out a way that you're not meant to be doing things, or something you're not meant to be doing, and you can go figure out the next thing to fail at or the next thing to succeed at. As long as you're constantly failing forward, as long as you're constantly moving forward, as long as you're not playing it safe. That would be my mantra, is I never want to play it safe. I never want to look back at my day or my year and go, I could have done more. To step out of your comfort zone is an exhilarating experience. I did it 2 days ago when I had to do a radio broadcast for my first time ever doing a radio broadcast at a football match. Yep.
I was so out of my comfort zone, it was frightening. And by the time I got my reports in, and it was live on radio, and by the time I got my reports in, and by the time I got my report in the evening, my inter-match report, that night when I lied in bed Sunday night, I was so proud of myself for grabbing that opportunity, stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something. I wrote this morning actually in my email about, there is people out there that want to join a gym or they want to do something or want to lose weight, and it is a daunting experience. And they have to step out of their comfort zone. But if they just take that first step and they come talk to someone like me, regardless if you stay with me or I will send you in the right direction for you. But if you take that first step, I guarantee you when you hop in your car, you will feel more proud of yourself than you did the day before. And that's crucial to me,
I'd say that is crucial to me as well. And when you look back at your business and what you've been able to do over the last few years, has there been a moment where you felt that you've reached the top, or is that still coming?
Oh, that's still coming. I reached the top. Oh, man, the top is so far up there. I feel I'm only at the summit.
Okay.
I feel that I'm as grounded as you could be in terms of, I love being, I suppose, some people might laugh. There's been waves that didn't know me, but I like being humble in terms of, if I don't know how to do it, I fucking find out how to do it, and I will implement it. But I feel like I'm learning only in the footsteps of others. I'm only going through, like, for instance, like Travis Jones, he's so far up that mountain that, he might throw a pebble down and hit me in the head if he's lucky, but he's so far up there. I'm looking up there and I'm saying, I'm gonna try and catch him and do as I can on the way up. But there's other people over the years that I've had massive influence on me that, keeps me grounded, keeps me humble. At the mountain, I'm at the bottom. I'm not at the real bottom. I'm up there a small bit, but I have a lot of work to do in this business yet. Like, because in this industry, when you're doing when you're strength coaching or you never know it all. You're always learning. There's so much. I was reading there this morning. I try to read about 45 minutes a day, and I read things sometimes and I go, damn, I was so wrong in what I was doing. And you bring that then the next day, you bring in what you learn into your life, So I have an awful lot to learn. I'm always going to be learning, I think. I don't think I think the day I stop learning is the day that I'll just pack it in, because if you don't keep the brain alive, sure, what good is it,
If you're not growing, you're dying.
Ultimately. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What are you reading at the moment?
I'm reading different books at the moment, actually. The one that I'm reading now, there's a couple of them. I've the biggest one I'm reading now is the Muscle and Strength Pyramid Training by Eric Helms.
Yep.
That's the one I'm reading at the moment. And then the second one I'm reading then is I have it up here now. Yeah, Lyle McDonald's book, The Stubborn Fat Solution, Body Recomposition. They're the two books now I have on the go at the moment. So I do get them. I do buy them, and I don't have a Kindle actually, and that's one thing that I'll have to ask my wife to buy for me, but in my next present. But I don't have a Kindle. I tend to, you buy them in ebooks, and then I send them to a guy up the road here who just prints them off me and binds them, and then I can. I'm a highlighter man. I'm constantly putting highlighters and sticky tapes on them and everything, just to so I can just pick them up and refer back to it whenever I have whenever I need a kind of recalibration of what I've learned, So
look,
that's how I do it,
I wish I could read book for 45 minutes a day, but I'm an audio guy through and through. I just listen to audiobooks. That's all I do. For me personally, I absorb things so much better when they're in audio format. I think that's why I've started a podcast, because I've got a face for radio. But I literally, audio is my thing. I have to listen to it to absorb it. So try some audiobooks if you haven't already. Try some.
I will. I do. Yeah, and I suppose I'm old school. I've always loved newspapers and books, and I'm old school when it comes to that. But hey, look, maybe I should take a leaf out of your book and start learning. That way. Maybe that's the in thing to do. Maybe I'm old school.
Man, if you've got a long drive to work, or you just drive, or you're constantly busy and moving, You can't beat it. You can't beat it. You can actually speed up the audiobooks to like they're 1.5 times faster than what the actual speech is, and you pay a lot more attention. And it's actually scientifically proven that you retain information a lot better when you have to focus because it's going faster than normal speech. But yeah, so that's a great little hack that I use anyway. But Brian, we've been doing this for a long time. It's like 50 minutes. We've time flies.
I told you, I'm terrible. Like, I mean, I suppose once I start talking to someone like yourself, we get some shit off our chest. We have a chat and a laugh, and it's that's what I said to you. Maybe all the fitness professionals in the world should. Should start a union. Get everyone talking, get everyone helping and praising each other. Yeah. Instead of the negative side of life.
100%. Yeah. How about a fun question for you, Brian? How much fun would you have if Conor McGregor came into your gym?
Oh, I mean, I don't think he'd be able to get in my gym because there'd be so much media here. The gym would be wedged. He wouldn't even get inside the door. Up, he would get near it.
Is he an absolute superstar in Ireland right now?
He'd be very mixed reception now. He would be seen as he got Sporting Person of the Year in Ireland this year, and he is a huge attraction.
Yeah.
MMA, like it wasn't really known much around it here in Ireland. There was some good gyms in Dublin that were doing it all right. So it would have been a bit more known in Dublin, but it wasn't really. He has brought it to a whole new level. Like he's basically set his goals, worked hard, and then when he got the opportunity, backed it up, but also knows, he's realistic to know this is a short-term game. He's making as much as he can while he can it. Now, some people don't like that. There is a begrudging, cynical side in Ireland that's built into them. Can be built into their psyche that they go through stages of who's that guy? To hell with him. They will discredit his accent, and over time, then the typical Irish, fair play to him. Fuck him, fair play to him. That will come out, and he's coming towards that now in Ireland. And some people, he can be very humane, he can be very grounded, but then again, he can show his arrogance and confidence, which is
you have to have that in that sport, though.
Yeah, and there's people out there that would deep down love to be as not arrogant, but as confident in their own selves, but they're not, and I think that does intimidate them and does turn them off. So he's a divided character. But then again, Muhammad Ali was a divided character, and he compares himself all the time. I mean, some of the greatest sports stars, Roy Keane in this country, divided character. Footballers or athletes all over the world, divided characters. But like, if you're a failure, people will only feel sorry for you, and you won't be a divided character.
Yeah. I think people, especially when it comes to sport, they don't look at the history of the sport, or they don't look at the history of people that have come before them. He's not doing anything different. He's doing what a lot of the greats have done, and you mentioned Muhammad Ali, the great talkers. You mentioned he's doing exactly what they did, just in today's society. So,
absolutely. Hey, Marvin.
Yeah.
In case anyone thinks, I wouldn't even put him anywhere near Muhammad Ali in terms of
exactly.
Like, to me personally, I'm a big, massive boxing fan.
Yeah,
I wouldn't watch MMA. It wouldn't be my thing. Boxing to me, I would watch it night, noon, morning. I have DVDs, box sets. But I sit down and watch some of the greatest fighters so many times. My wife just killed me for it. I'm convinced my young fella is going to do boxing, but hopefully she doesn't listen to this, so she thinks he won't. But some of these great guys, I mean, he's putting himself in the best position for him and his family, and I applaud that.
You have to respect that, and unfortunately, it's a global phenomenon of tall poppy syndrome or Icarus flying too close to the sun. People don't like that shit. They really don't. They prefer you losing. So what I say is just win. Just keep winning.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Brian, before we let you go, because we've been going for a while, what are, like, what is one of the main industry insights that you've picked up over the years of doing what you do that could help someone starting out today that is either a personal trainer, wants to become a personal trainer, or wants to open a gym like you?
Okay. The two insights into this now, and I'll go maybe from a business side. If you're intending to open up a gym, go to a gym owner, spend some time in his company or her company, and find out the hidden costs and the hidden charges and the obstacles you're going to face to set up your business. That's one of the first things I do. Open your eyes up to actually, the size and scale and design and the type of person that you want to train. Identify your niche, sit down, piece of paper, write down who do you want to train, and then branch off that and find out, is there in your area, is there enough of those people? Then you go to a gym owner or whoever, and you go and you find out, the costings of this business, and is it feasible? Match one against the other. If you do decide to do that, then one of the biggest things you need to do is, there was a life before Instagram and Facebook. It's very important. Social media is crucial these days. But there was a life. I did hand out flyers. I did go to shop to shop to shop. I did go standing in shopping centres. I did all that, back in 2009 and 10 before it really exploded. Build your email list. If you have an email list, you will always have a chance of survival, because they're your core. Create enough content, put out content, be yourself, gather their emails, that would be a big business sense. On the training side, be humble, treat everyone with respect, have your integrity, and show energy. Show that you give a shit, and don't do something you don't know. Step by step, learn this. Read as much as you can. Don't preach before you can you understand what's out there, and just enjoy yourself and be smart. Use a head. Don't be offending people. No matter what someone says about someone, just say they're a nice guy and move on. Over time, you'll get there. So, but they would be the biggest things that I would try and help people with. And the last thing, actually, just one thing, remember, if you're a young kid at home and you want to be, you want to go into the fitness industry, whether it's strength training, gym instructor, personal training, sports science, strength and conditioning, a college, whatever you need to do plenty of research in it. Go to talk to someone in each one of those industries. See, do some more research that's something you actually want to do, because there's nothing more annoying than going down that route, spending loads of money on education, and then realizing that, hey, this is not what I want to do. So do your work.
Great advice, Brian. And thanks for coming on today. Where can the listeners find you on your social media?
You'll find me on Legacy Performance on Facebook. We're under Legacy Performance. You'll find me at www.legacyperformance.ie. You can email me at info@legacyperformance.ie, or you can get me on Twitter at Brian Roache 4 is another way. So we're on Instagram as well, Legacy Performance. So I am all over the place.
Perfect, Brian. Thanks so much for coming on today, man.
No problem. It was always an honor to talk to you, Marvin. Very delighted to finally get a chance to shoot the breeze with you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again. I had a lot of fun. I've been doing this for a while now. I still don't know how to end these damn podcasts. I really don't. I feel awkward when I have to end it. It's like I don't want to go. But you do videos. You've done some commentary. How do you sign up?
How do I sign off? Well, I suppose I'm not sure I'm the same as you. I think we just press end. But maybe, maybe we just leave it with the words, until again.
Until again. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening, guys. That was the end of episode 68, our interview with Brian Roache. If you want to get to know Brian, there will be links in the show notes to him, and you can check him out on all his social. If you're up near him, make sure you go and visit him. Go visit the gym if you want to get some serious results. That being said, guys, that was a great interview. I hope to do a few more like those this year. It was a lot of fun, just a lot more free flowing. I hope you felt that. And like I said at the beginning, if that's something you felt, leave a review, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you give us a big thumbs up on Facebook. Now, another thing that we will be heavily promoting this year, so it shouldn't be a surprise to a lot of the listeners that I've had over the few months that we've been doing this, but to all the new listeners, we are also sponsored by audible.com. So audiobooks, I love audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks every single day. I have a monthly subscription with them, and I build my database, my mind from audiobooks. I struggle to read. So if you struggle to read and you want to know more, make sure you head to audibletrial.com/FitPro podcast. You get a 30-day free trial. There is hundreds of thousands of books for you to choose from. And yeah, if you don't like it after 30 days, you can just cancel it, and no harm, no foul. That being said, guys, that is the end of today's episode. If you want to hear more, or if you like this interview, make sure that you subscribe on iTunes or on Android and leave us a review. And check out fitpropodcast.com if you want to see more episodes. If you're a brand newbie, if you're a constant listener, a subscriber, I will catch you in the next one. If you're a brand newbie, hopefully you become a subscriber, and I will catch you in the next one as well. Peace.